sir, you have a race car. Oh my goodness. What do you have to say about putting control arms on a Mustang?
I love my life. I'm definitely not being held against my will.
1, 2, 3!
What's going on, everybody? My name is Seth and you're watching 252 Squad, and in today's video we are back with the Procharged 1997 Cobra Mustang project, and in today's video we're revamping the entire rear suspension with some tubular control arms and some poly rear bushings. So yeah guys, let's go ahead and get the car in and on the lift, go over what we got, and go ahead and get into ripping the whole thing apart. Alright, so we got the car in and up on the lift. Sean is currently taking the wheels off, but I'm going to show you what we got. So we got the same exact kit we put on the New Edge Mustang, which is actually over there getting work right now, that we put on that car for the lower control arms. This kit we got from Jess over at Modify My Stank, so hit them up for your Mustang accessories and needs. But getting ready to go ahead and start taking everything apart on this one and going ahead and getting these control arms put on, hopefully stiffening up the suspension. Alright, so Sean's already started work on the rear of the vehicle. As you can see, he's gotten the pipes that come down over the axle, everything starting right there, and then he's disconnecting from the H pipe here because you got to take all of this off to get these lower control arm bolts through here to take those out. So on this car you're gonna have to take the exhaust off. On that one we actually, since the exhaust is already hanging because the off-road H pipe, we didn't have to do that. But yep, exhaust is coming down. Good old 1997 rubber here decided to die, so we're just gonna cut it off, and then we're probably gonna use one of these hangers because the actual goal eventually is to go side pipes right out the side. We haven't figured that out yet. I think we're going to custom fab it and do our own thing, but we haven't gotten that far yet. But right now we're just cutting exhaust hangers. So this will be fun, just like that. Bro, He-Man here just straight up just pulled the exhaust hanger right off with his hands. Just like, should have yoinked that hub. Wild. The exhaust is actually fairly easy to take off this car. I know they say the S197s were hard to take the mid pipes off of it. We did it in like 10 minutes, and he probably just took this off in 10 minutes. So not too bad.
Not even.
Not even. Pretty good.
Don't show my hands.
Quick little open H pipe dump. I just want to see what it sounds like. Open H pipe. Why does that sound actually pretty insane? That's pretty good, actually. Now back to your regular scheduled programming of installing some control arms.
Hey, and heat tape just showed up at the door.
Nice. All right, so with the New Edge, we actually found that it's easier not to press it out like we did the original time, but actually take a drill bit and drill through the rubber and work your way around the whole bushing. So essentially what we do is just a little. So essentially what we're doing is drilling into it and then working your way around to drill that out. And then we're gonna go back with a wire brush and actually clean the whole thing out with a little bit of heat and a wire brush. And it's a lot easier than actually pressing that out, pressing the bushing out, and then essentially repeating the same thing. You can do it all on the car. And it makes things a little bit easier. And it's actually the easiest way I found to do this.
It also takes half the time.
Half the time, literally. Pricing these out normally isn't fun because these cars are all 20 plus years old. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and start with that. Yep. So as Sean's over there finishing up wiring out the bushing there, I'm going to show you what we're replacing it with. And that's actually this Prothane bushing right here. I actually got these off LMR. These actually come in a kit for just both sides here. So I'm going to go ahead and get this open right fast. I can show you essentially what we got. So we got both of these. These are polyurethane bushings with the sleeves for the bolts to go through. And this is just going to attach to the top part of where he's reaming out that diff bushing. So once he gets everything out, I'm going to show you installing these. All right, as you can see up here, we got everything cleaned out of this bushing. It's nice and shiny now. So we're getting ready to install the bushing. So you're going the backside in that way. I'll come around here so you can see. Well, that went well.
If I don't drop it first.
Good thing we're not in prison. Anyways, then you're gonna start smacking that in like that. Go ahead and pressing that in. It's gonna be tight. You're gonna want to put a little bit of lube up there. And then once he can actually get it to go in. Sir?
Shuffling this around, right?
Last time I just pressed in with your hands. This time he's having to hit it with his purse. There she goes. Now, once that is in, he's going to install that in, the beveled in, and slide it right over top, like so. Get it all pressed on there.
There we go.
Nice. And now all he's got to do is stick the metal rod through the hole.
Where's that at?
I think it's in my pocket. Silicone spray also works really well too. If you don't run out of some of the little lube stuff it comes with. And that is also a little bit of a pain, so he's probably gonna have to hit that with a hammer to get it.
I don't know why we didn't do it twice.
Big point. A few taps with a hammer. Got that in there. Now it's time to put the new control arm on, which is sitting right down there. It's gonna go well.
This one should go quicker than the last one.
I'm gonna die underneath this car. All right, so looking up here, Sean has already got all the upper control arms and the poly bushings in the differential installed. He's getting ready to start on the lower control arms here. Luckily on the Cobra, it doesn't have the sway bar on it, as well as a few other things, I think, versus the new Edge over there. So it's gonna make it a little bit easier just to take everything apart, but let's go ahead and get to the time lapse of taking everything apart. Goodness gracious, I can't talk today. What do you have to say about putting control arms on a Mustang?
I love my life. I'm definitely not being held against my will.
We're going to show you how to press these in. So, step one, if you can hear me on both of them, you're just going to press those in like that. We just put it in the vise. It's pretty much all we've been doing on these is sticking them in like that. And as you can see, you can use the vise to press them in pretty evenly there. No real issues as far as those go. And then the other side, once he gets there, I'll show you that one.
Put them down.
So other side, essentially just slide them in there. He didn't actually apply any grease or lube or anything, so going in dry on that one. And so, yep, that's how we do that. And once he's done with that, we're gonna put the sleeve in that I got stuck on my finger right now currently, and I only have one hand because I'm filming. And so this is stuck on my hand pretty badly. Here. Yes, sir. I don't know if you can tell by the way we're acting right now, but we've actually been working on this car now for probably, what, 4 hours? Well, he's been working on it for 4 hours. I've been working on the new Edge, and we're both pretty cooked right now because this is what we do for a living. And doing this on the weekend is not very fun, but we can show you how to finish it. So just taking the little metal rod there, sticking it in there. He's getting a piece of metal in his hand, and then you just kind of press that in. It kind of goes through as you press it through the vise. He's also doing that dry with no lube either. So that just makes it a little bit harder. So you can use that stuff that's provided with it, or you can just go in dry like that.
Be a man and go dry.
We're getting demonetized. All right, so we went ahead and got all the control arms on, aka Sean got all the control arms on. It is looking really, really good under here with the uppers with the nice red bushings there, and then the lowers coming along on down to the bottom side here. He did have to modify, which you probably saw in the time lapse. These brackets normally fold in. He had to take a cutoff wheel and cut those. Other than that, though, it's a pretty plug-and-play swap. It just takes some time to do. But yeah, now that all that's wrapped up, we're going to finish wrapping everything up, putting the wheels and all on. And I think we're going to convince him to do a few little pulls, open H-pipe. We're going to see how it sounds, because side pipes would be a lot easier with no big old mufflers back there. Yeah. It's going to go well. Yeah. All right, so we blackmailed him into doing a few rips, open manifolds, long tube headers, H-pipe. It's going to be great. Let me take you along. He's still in the shop, and I can hear it. Yeah. That is an animal of a car right there. Jesus. I could hear you revving it, like backing off the lift in the shop. It's so loud. It sounds great though. God. Race car. Oh my goodness, that might be the greatest sounding thing I've ever heard in my life. 4 valves sound significantly better than Coyotes, and I am a Coyote guy. And that sounds phenomenal. Oh my God. Brother, that has got to be the best sounding car I've ever heard in my life. It sounds so good. Sir, you have a race car. Oh my goodness. This is amazing. Oh my goodness. This is so much significantly better than my straight pipe Coyote was. Oh my goodness. This has got to be the best sounding Mustang I think I've ever heard. It's so phenomenally wild. And the suspension definitely is a lot stiffer in the rear end now. Those control arms are a lot. It just so like, whoa. God, this is insane. The car is wild. It's so good. Sean's unfortunately putting the exhaust back on, but the rear control arms look absolutely sick underneath of this thing. The way they just kind of line up and everything is a little different. But once they are in, man, they do a difference. Just how much stiffer the rear end is. It definitely feels a little bit more planted, and even in the passenger seat, it's a little bit more confident, because beforehand with these, 1997 bushings, this thing would just, and just feel like it's floating. You can definitely tell when it spins a little bit more. And it turns these NT55 G2s to clouds. Still, these 410 rear gears, long tube headers, and the Procharger making, dang near 400 wheel horsepower is a lot in this car. And this definitely helped.
Probably does make 400 wheels, just depending on fuel mixture at the time.
Yeah, currently we're on that winter gas, so it ain't doing too good. But, man, this thing is rowdy. Sir. The overall chassis stiffness is definitely a lot stiffer than before. These bumps are really going to show. Yeah.
It's so much more solid.
Yeah, in the rear, you can tell the rear is way more solid than the front.
Still bouncy, but
yeah,
better.
Which that's the spring. God, this thing is rowdy.
Look behind. What's behind?
Yes, sir. Bro said he's getting new tires next week anyways. This thing is so rowdy, dude.
All right, so as you guys can see, we finally got the upper and lower rear control arms finally installed on the Cobra. Still got to do them on the new Edge. We got halfway done on those. Overall, the actual installation process, as long as you do all the steps moving up to it to make sure ease of installation, they're easy to install. You do have to use a lot of lubricant to get those poly bushings up into the spots where they actually bolt through, because otherwise they just won't go in. On top of that, it does take a little bit of modification to a few small parts here and there. Nothing major in any way, shape, or form. But it's always, for the lowers, it's definitely going to be recommended to have a second person there to help you with it. So that's how we're able to get the other side in about 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes most. And it went by super easy. And now the car drives a whole heck of a lot better.
Well, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. It was a really fun one to make. Not really. I got to film. Sean did most of the work for the first time in a long time. Love you, buddy. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much going to be it for today's video. They did do a heck of a lot for this car. It feels a lot more planted and a lot more trustworthy when you get on the throttle and the tires break loose, which is always in this car. And it also made us feel really happy about going side pipe on this thing very shortly because it sounds rowdy. But that's going to be it for today's video. I thank you so much for watching. If you want to purchase these control arms, I'll leave a link to modify my Mustang down below with the link for the control arms themselves. But other than that, guys, please like and subscribe. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace out, and I'll see you next time.